All aboard the Esoteric Express, where we're gonna take a train ride through your mind on the spooky side of the tracks. I'm Nick. This is Ant. Ant, what are we getting into tonight?
Tonight we're going to talk about rituals, old rituals, new rituals, and just wade through the bullshit. And one of the first rituals that I really want to talk about is the Three Kings. So,
Okay,
Nick,
Three Kings. Three Kings. All right, I know a little bit about the Three Kings. Personally, I never tried that. Have you?
no, I actually haven't tried it at all.
All right, so we gotta do this shit later down the line. We're gonna do some Three Kings on some video. But as far as it goes, what I know about it is that first off, you gotta take the preparation very seriously because I heard shit can go wrong, and if shit starts going wrong, you need to abort mission. So what you want to do is first off, you gotta find a room, preferably no windows. You want to have three chairs. The main throne chair needs to be north, and the other chairs need to be facing the throne. Now you have a mirror in each chair. You don't want to look directly into them when you're performing the ritual. You want to keep your line of sight straight to the door, like focus on the door. But you want to be able to see both mirrors in the corner of your eyes. Now, there's safety measures to kind of, if something bad happens, to kind of get you out of it. And what you want to do is when you're prepping the room, you want to leave the door open. Then you want to go. You want to go to sleep. You have set your alarm to 3:30 in the morning. You want to be back in the throne chair exactly at 3:33. Any later, it is a no-go. Do not do it. If your phone does not charge for some reason, do not do it. If you wake up and you walk to the room and the door is closed after you left it open from the preparation, do not do it. You are supposed to leave and come back at 6:45 in the morning after that.
Yeah, and the other thing that I heard about is before you do the ritual, you need to have something that is very close and personal to you, like a personal item from your childhood or a toy or something like that. Because if the ritual starts going wrong, it's a way to pull you back out. The other thing is having the candle in front of you, as Nick had said earlier, with the fan behind you. If you get knocked off or something happens to you, and you move from that chair, that the fan will blow out the candle and end the ritual. And there was another one where, with the water, you're supposed to entrust one of your friends to have. Is it a bucket or is it a glass of water?
I believe you're supposed to have a bucket in the room, which I forgot to mention, but the person on the other side of the door is supposed to have a glass of water to come
Yeah.
at you with.
And so if the things start going wrong at, I think it's an hour later, or is it 10 minutes
It's
later?
supposed to end at 4:34.
So
And
at 4:34, if the person like calls your name and you don't answer,
they're
then
supposed to call you next.
yeah, they're supposed to call your phone. And if that doesn't work, they're supposed to like bust in the door like the popo and throw water at you to wake you up, and not to touch you, because if they touch you, then apparently if you're possessed or have an entity attached to you, then they can easily traverse to that person. So
And then the other cool point that I found out is just the meaning behind it is that it's called Three Kings, and it's called Three Kings because you are the king in the two mirrors, left and right. The queen is one, the fool is the other. You have no way to tell which one's which. The point is you're supposed to determine off of whatever information they're feeding you which one is telling the truth, which one is lying. But also at the same time that the one on the mirror on the left and the mirror on the right is also going to be their king in their own respect, and you're going to appear as the queen or the fool to either one of those as well, which is kind of like a questionnaire back and forth between you and whatever entity appears on that.
yeah, and that's crazy. It's one of those rituals that I've when I found about it, it's the only one that seems super legitimate enough to where I actually want to try the ritual. But getting up at 3:30 in the morning is kind of hard to do straight off of the alarm clock. The other ritual that I had read a lot about that started popping up on all my YouTube videos that I was watching was Charlie Charlie. What do you know about Charlie Charlie?
Charlie, two pencils, piece of paper, yes, no, yes, no. If there's something in the room with you, you're supposed to ask questions, and the pencils are supposedly to move, answering the questions in a yes or no fashion. I know that it goes back further. This is like a runoff of an older kind of game or ritual that was played. I'm not too sure what that is. I think Ant knows more about that though.
Yeah, it was based off of an old ritual, a Mexican ritual, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name because my Spanish is lacking.
I think you should still try it though.
But in early versions of the game, they actually used 4 pencils instead of 2, and they still use the square shape to do the ritual. And I'm curious because when we talk about Charlie and stuff like that, and try to communicate to spirits, it does vaguely remind me of the old Ouija boards. Did you ever have one of the Ouija boards?
Yes, I had quite the experience with a Ouija board. But real quick, back on the Charlie, we can try that. We gotta get like some video of like trying that shit because I want to either call bullshit or real. Like that was an easy one to do right away.
Yeah, and I think that when we go further into the podcast, that we're definitely gonna have to do some live streaming of each one of these different rituals, and we really want to push the envelope and see if these things are legitimate. And Charlie's super simple to do. I think the 3 Kings we could do, and going back to what we were just talking about, the Ouija board. I really think that we should do the Ouija board live.
Oh yeah, for real though. I'm down with the Ouija board, and I know I did this shit back when I was younger. I think I was like 12, 13. Me and my cousin did that. She ain't get no name drop because fuck that bitch. But we did this shit outside because we were a little scared when we were younger. And we weren't really getting no answers with it. Like, I thought she was moving it. She thought I was moving it. So I got mad. So I'm like, yo, fuck this shit. And I put that shit back in the box. And I threw that crap in the trash. And then the weirdest shit was that, like, it was like 5 or 6 hours later, I went back in my house. And the fucking Ouija board was back in its box on my shelf in between like 3 other board games. And nobody was home the entire time. So nobody went in the trash and put it in my house. That shit just fucked me up. So what I did was I wrapped it up and I gave it to my other cousin as a birthday gift. He still doesn't know to this day. But I don't know. I don't talk to him either. So who knows what happened with that one.
See, and that's one of those crazy stories that you hear about Ouija boards. And when you played it, did you actually close out the session properly at all?
I don't think so. Like, I didn't know closing out a session was a thing until like probably later on in life when I started looking at this shit again. But I know I threw it out. I put it in the trash. Like, that was it. I was like, I'm done with this crap.
Yeah, see, and that's one of those things where with the Ouija board, supposedly if you don't close out the session, whatever demon or entity that you had summoned or talking to apparently still is attached to that board. And one of the most famous ones is actually Zozo. Have you ever heard of Zozo?
Yeah, I saw that video. I'm not 100% I'm sold.
Yeah, supposedly Zozo is a demon that is particular to young women who play or try to initiate any communication with the spiritual world.
What if I'm a young man that identifies as a young woman? Will it still have interest in me?
Well, in this new day and age, I wouldn't put it past it. You know, I'm not entirely sure. You know, and with fear of demonetization, I'm not even gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But
I don't want to assume a demon's preferences at this point.
But there's quite a bit of videos, and I believe they even made a pretty cheesy movie called Ouija that was based off of the Zozo demon.
Wait, that shit sounds familiar. I think I've seen that like a Netflix original,
Yeah.
or straight to Redbox or some shit
straight
like
to
that.
Redbox video. But that's one of those videos where it's pretty apparent that it looked pretty scripted and fake. But they have a lot of YouTube videos, and you know,
No, that shit was straight to VHS.
yeah, and those are super cheesy, and you can tell that they definitely look a little bit staged. But I haven't had the opportunity to do the Ouija board, but it's definitely on my to-do list.
I got an idea for a Ouija board, but I don't want to tell everybody yet. I think we should just do it first and then explain what we're doing after.
All right, it sounds like what we're going to do on a future podcast.
We're going on a trip, on a Ouija rocket ship.
And but I never did a Ouija board. But back when I was younger, there used to be this game, and this is gonna show my age right here. But the biggest thing that we had when we were younger was the old myth of Bloody Mary. And
how long ago was that for you?
Well, it was back in the 80s, but
I wasn't even born yet. Jesus Christ! Oh, Bloody Mary!
Bloody Mary. So with Bloody Mary, there's different ways of doing it, but the premise is the same, and it is where you look at a mirror late at night, and you have a candle, and you blow it out, and you say Bloody Mary's name, I think 3 times, and supposedly her image is supposed to come to you. Now, when I was younger, I did try it, and I'm afraid to say it didn't quite work out for me. Did you ever try Bloody Mary?
First question though on the Bloody Mary, like, what is Bloody Mary based off of? Like, who is it? A demon? Is it like I don't like what is appear? Like, if it was to appear, like what exactly is Bloody Mary's like backstory? If you know.
I mean, there used to be like someone was murdered. Her name was Mary. They had different rituals way back when. As early as the 20th century. It's just one of those things where everybody had different variations of how the original story began.
Wait, does that have any ties to the woman that was in Jamaica that was like killing the young girls for their blood, or the other woman that was drinking the blood, or is that like something different I'm thinking about?
I mean, it could be. To be honest,
because I know there was like all these people named Mary back in the day that had some kind of like haunting effect on wherever they were, some shit like that.
Yeah, and apparently, even in the Japan culture, there's one called Hanko-san, which is pretty similar to Mary Mary.
You try to pronounce that, but you can't read the fucking Charlie one?
No. my Spanish is worse than my Japanese, and that's saying something, so.
White people.
But no, I've heard it saying there was a saint, it was this person, that person, but I've never seen anything other than my ugly mug staring back at me, so I really...
I remember, so I went to a Catholic school as a kid, and I remember hearing about Bloody Mary the first time, probably like in second grade, and we all were like, our parents didn't love us, so they left us after school, and we had to get picked up at like 8 o'clock at night because nobody wanted to come get us. So we were bored one night, and one of the older kids had told us we should go to the bathroom and try that shit. So our dumbasses went in the school bathroom and tried to do this Bloody Mary shit in the mirror, but we didn't see nothing except this asshole was hiding in the stalls and just fucking freaked us all out when that shit happened. And then I've never tried it again past that, but safe to say nothing really happened except all of us almost pissing ourselves.
Well, and again, that sounds like one of those things that we're going to have to do on one of our live streams is to bust out the old mirror at midnight and say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. So, but going on, other than divination, the other thing that I thought was super interesting, it was tarot cards. Did you ever get into tarot cards?
Okay, I have two separate tarot card experiences at two completely different times in my life. The first time I did it, I was probably about like 8 or 9. And I went to Salem, Massachusetts, the witch place, whatever, for Halloween, because my mom took me, and she took me to like a palm reader, tarot card kind of person, and got a little reading. At the time, I wasn't really understanding, but basically what they told me about that was that I should not fuck with nothing paranormal, nothing demonology, none of this crap that we're talking about, because I was an open channel to shit. But here I am, motherfucking like 20 years later, trying to go to the extreme with all this crap, completely ignoring all their warnings. And then, so that's that. We'll see what happens with that one. And the second time, I had this girl, she claimed she knew what she was doing, but then after she did it, I kind of lost faith in her because she also thought she was a vampire. And after her little tarot card reading, I mean, basically, she just would flip the cards over, try to explain the picture, and bullshit from there. So, not going to count that as an experience.
Yeah, and see, I've always been told that tarot cards is a little bit randomness and a little bit of reading the person and, trying to feed them what they want to know.
I'm going there straight-faced killer. You ain't reading shit.
But I did have an interesting experience when I was living in San Diego. There was a tarot card lady in the gas lamp district that, I was dating someone at the time, and we both went in at the same time, and she got her reading done first, and it was really quick, in and out. And I was like, man, that was kind of a waste of money, because it's like $65 a pop for fucking the reading. And the lady went and did mine, and she was like, yo, you need to ditch that woman ASAP.
Boom.
So whatever.
Boom. Drop the bitch.
Drop it. And she was like, yeah, you're going to meet someone, and, this week that you're going to know just by sense alone that person is for you.
And what's your new life partner's name? What's his name?
What's his name? Well, apparently, no, I didn't listen to it, and to make a long story very short, Yeah, I did end up believing that person because it was like not a good situation. But now whether or not someone could just read that or take one look at the person I was dating at the time and be like, oh man, that person's kind of fucked up. But it's hard to say. But I do think she was more a reading of the person, not necessarily a reading of the cards.
Alright,
Even though they do be like, oh, I can kind of read that, and it gets to the whole like the palm reading as well.
So this is on the to-do list. We need to go try it out again now.
Yeah, we should again. We're gonna live stream a tarot card reading and try to do it where they can't see us, so we can get the bullshit meter going pegged all the way to the end.
Can we get like little cameras in your in the glasses? Do they make shit is that for real? Yeah. That's just like spy shit. I don't fucking know.
No, they actually have the cameras.
I know
where my contacts to you. Yeah, and they also have pinhole cameras, so we can do it like that.
I'm down.
But if we're gonna do it live, all we have to do is wear one of those button-up shirts, whatever. Yeah. With the phone right there in the front pocket.
For real?
And yeah.
But if they really gonna know where your camera is, so if they bring that shit up.
I'm just saying, if they could really see the future, how are they not fucking billionaires by winning every one of the lottos?
This is also facts, but maybe there's like a fucking they had like a contract, and if they use their shit to make money off of, they lose their powers.
Oh, that'd be a good catch me all for
magicians too. Like how some magicians be like good with that shit, and other magicians you could tell like yo.
But with those spiritual people, the other thing that I was very interested about talking about tonight was seances.
Seances.
So, communicating with the dead, what's your opinion on that? Legit?
Okay, I feel like it's legit to an extent, but I also have my own beliefs in like how we're on like a 3-dimensional plane and we vibrate at a certain frequency, yada yada yada, and there's things that vibrate at a higher frequency and a lower frequency. So maybe it's not entirely a ghost of a dead person, but you are making contact with another being of some sort.
Yeah.
But then I also, just from reading old shit, it says like demons can pretend to be something else, and they'll talk to you as what you think there is.
Yeah, and the other thing that they like to do is they like to come in as like young child, like a young female. Again, going back to the whole Zozo thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yo, kids on a whole different level will scare the crap out of you. But no, they like to imitate young kids, specifically young girls. For some reason, again, going back to the whole Zozo thing, I don't know.
Maybe they're paid off by Hollywood. I don't know.
Maybe another Harvey Weinstein right here. But
he's gonna be in the fucking Lesser Key of Solomon. It's gonna out of some Harvey Weinstein.
Exactly. But no, it's seances I would say are probably pretty closer to being legitimate. I have definitely seen a couple videos that were very questionable.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about it now, and this might be a whole different subject, is there are certain videos like when I used to watch them, and like I'd be like, oh yeah, there's this video, they're doing a seance, and then the door starts slamming or stuff starts flying.
Or the table starts rattling and shit.
Yeah. But then now when I go back now and I'm starting to look for these videos or anything like that,
they're gone.
They're gone. Or they have the Wikipedia at the bottom saying, this is what, a seance is, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, get on YouTube and their way of
more to-do list. This shit's filling out really quick on shit that we have to do.
So, what about scrying? Have you
scrying is something new that I've started reading about because I didn't know too much about it. But I know mirror scrying and water scrying is like the same thing, but the mirror scrying is like derivative off of water scrying just to have, because the old people thought like the mirror was basically water in a portable version where they can bring it with them and do it wherever they want.
And isn't it kind of weird how like the water is tied between all of these different things, like with the Three Kings and the scrying and stuff like that? There's always seems that element of water.
So dead people is thirsty is what I got.
Apparently. But one of the more famous scryers that actually used a black mirror was apparently Nostradamus.
Oh, he did black mirror scrying?
Yeah, black mirror scrying. That's how he actually pulled all of his prophecies out. He scryed to the black mirror and was able to see the future.
What? That's fucking crazy, actually. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if we can find a black mirror, maybe try scrying. Is there like a scrying for dummies that we can get?
Oh, maybe we'll ask one of the three kings.
But no,
Charlie, how do I scribe?
I definitely would. That'd be something I really would like to try to do. Is either try to learn how to scribe, or maybe even do like a seance. We probably have to get a couple dummies to come with us. Maybe a
With
couple
the seance?
volunteers to do a seance.
But we gotta find like somebody that does
Medium.
it, like a medium.
Yeah.
I don't know who does seances. Is it like a medium or?
I don't know. I mean, because isn't scrying just like an offshoot of a seance? Like, I mean, you're essentially channeling a spirit both ways, right?
I would not be able to tell you.
Yeah.
I really don't know on that one.
I mean, they and on top of that, they also have like ghostwriting or stuff like that, where you're writing
Yeah.
and you're not in control of your hand, just like you let the entity in to actually be the right.
Yeah, that's what I told my ex girl too. I don't know what happened. I just wasn't in control of what I put in there. It might have been my hand, might have been something else. I don't know.
Well, I think we've had pretty eventful first podcast.
Okay.
Any parting thoughts?
Any parting thoughts? I want to do a lot of the shit that we talked about now. We need to get that shit on camera, and then everyone will be like, "Oh, you guys are full of shit. It's not real. It's fake." But you know what? Fuck you guys.
Yeah, well, and honestly, that's how I think when I watch videos. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
they're just like
Yeah.
stage acting, or someone's in the back like pulling on a string.
Like like dental floss.
Yeah, fuck that shit. But
You can blind the Chinese, but you can't fool me.
But I definitely wanted to.
Wait, I probably should say that.
Oh god, demonetization, here we come. But anyways,
No, I think I'm good on that. And we covered that. Got some info, got some jokes off.
yeah, we just have to figure out how to close it out.
I think we're pulling into the station real soon.
All right.